Alrighty, thank you so much, Nicole. Well, you know what today is. It is Free Legal Advice Monday. If you have any questions, it's still time. You still have time to call in or submit your questions on our Facebook page, WFMJ Today, or just shoot us an email. So we have attorney Dave Betras.
I'm here, I'm live, and I'm local, and
yeah.
I'm going to be taking your calls off the air, so if you don't want to call and hear your question on the air, I go back into the green room or the weather room with Jody.
Yes, yes. Well, let's get started, Dave.
Sure.
You have a lot of questions this
All
morning.
right.
So, Jim, he sent an email asking, he said, I've been having a lot of health issues and subsequent testing. I don't believe my doctor is really looking at my test results as he missed a few things in the blood work that was on his My Chart. Do he have any legal recourse for the doctor not doing his job? If another doctor gives a more serious diagnosis, is the first guy negligent?
Well, that's a packed question, so let me break them down. First of all, if you're not happy with what the job the doctor is doing for you, then go get a second opinion.
Yeah.
Now, in a medical malpractice case, just because a doctor misses a diagnosis or misses some part of something doesn't necessarily mean that means there's a malpractice case. What that means is you have the ability to see if there's malpractice. A doctor's care is set by another doctor's care. Has to fall below an acceptable standard, and you have to have damages from it. I'll give you a prime example. You fall, break your arm. You go to the emergency room, they miss your broken arm. A week later, you go to the doctor. They find the broken arm. Really no case there because you have no substantial damages.
All right. Well, let's move on to Cheryl. She sent a message on Facebook. She said that she has a problem concerning a jewelry repair replacement for a broken catch on a 14-karat solid gold necklace. Now, a store replaced the broken chain with a completely different, lighter, thinner chain than the original. So she has her original paperwork from that
I would
purchase.
take them to small claims court. Look, if they didn't replace it with what you had, first of all, believe it or not, the law under the Uniform Commercial Code is once you buy something, retailers only take it back as a customer service. There's nothing in the law requires them to take it back. But if they took it back or if there's a warranty on it, they should give you what you had. So I would go back to them.
All right, that's good to know. And we have, let's see, Sam. He sent an email. He wanted to tell you hello as well. But he said that his mom died almost 10 years ago and his dad just recently passed. Now, in the last year of his dad's life, he started seeing a woman never married, but she had moved into his house, but not on paper. So when they moved him to hospice, she stayed in the home, which was fine. When he died 6 months later, she moved out. But he wants to know, he's pretty sure she took some stuff from his home, like some of his mother's items, jewelry, china. Yeah, so they confronted her. It turned into a big issue. But does she need to bring that back? How does that work?
She needs to bring that back unless he made a gift of it to her, his father. But she should return those items, and if she doesn't, they can make a police report. Police probably won't do anything about it, but they could sue her for the value of those goods. Okay,
so the first step is a police report.
Absolutely.
All right, we have just a few seconds. Renee sent an email and wants to know, is there any way to find out what a will says after someone passes away if you are not their child?
Yes, a will, if it's going to be probated, will be filed in the probate court.
All right.
And you can go down and see what the will says in the probate court.
Perfect.
And I'll be taking your calls in the back room with Jody because she gave us such great weather.
Yes.
Okay, we can't complain about Jody at all.
Hey, Jody, she is one of our favorites. And she does a great job with the forecast, and she's bringing amazing weather, especially for Dave.
That's right.
He's being on his boat during the weekend. All right, well, make sure you call Dave, send us some messages, and he'll be with us throughout the 6 o'clock hour. We'll have more WFMJ Today after the break. Stay right here. Well, attorney Dave Betras is back for round 2 of Free Legal Advice on WFMJ Today. Dave, I know you got a few calls while you were back in the weather center, but let's start with Facebook with Dave.
Sure.
He said that his sister is renting and the landlord will not fix excessive mold, and he just raised the rent. She said she wants it fixed, But he said that she needs to move out for 3 months to get it fixed, and then he will raise the rent again.
Yeah, I love these landlords think they could just abuse these tenants. No, here's the law, landlords. If you enter into a lease with someone, you have to make that residence habitable. If it's not habitable, then they get to escrow their money. I had a call in the back room. If there's something wrong with your tenancy, so think of landlord-tenant this. The landlord owns the property, but you own the right to live in the property, and the law recognizes that right. And with that right, concomitant with that rights, are a bunch of obligations on the landlord. He has to make it habitable. If he doesn't make it habitable, you could take your rent money, you can escrow it into the court, and he doesn't get his rent money until he fixes the problem. He can't sign a new lease with her and say, oh, now you want me to make it habitable, well, you got to move out for 3 months and then I'm going to raise your rent. No judge is going to let that landlord get away with that. Those judges are pretty, all of our lower local court judges are really protective of tenants and the rights that they have.
That's good to know. Now, Frederick sent an email. He said, can I get my alimony adjusted after retiring?
It depends.
Okay.
It depends on the judgment entry and whether that's permanent or whether that it gets adjusted after he retires. Usually, if you hit the 20-year mark, it's called lifetime. Lifetime.
Okay.
Everyone out there hear me? Lifetime alimony. Okay.
All right.
That's only if there's a big disparity in the incomes, but.
All right.
All right.
So we have another one.
Go ahead.
Terry just sent an email wanting to know their neighbor's dog barks frequently, off and on, all day. The dog is left alone all day, and while the owner is at work for 9 to 10 hours, it has a dog door and can go on the porch, and it usually does. Now, this is in a trailer park where mobile homes are quite close. An on-site manager can't stop it, and out-of-state owner won't enforce park rules on dog barking, and they charge a monthly fee for pets. So the park owner said to go to the police to complain, but they haven't tried to do that yet.
I would go to the police. Yes, I would go to the police and complain. Depending on where they live, there are ordinances about loud dogs. And so you can absolutely go to the police, and they will. They can cite them for having an inordinate loud dog. All right. And did you get any questions while you were back there? I did. I actually, so people always think that when you're on a business premise, that if you get hurt on that business premise, that owner is automatically liable. That is not the case. Okay. If you get hurt on someone's business, if you slip and fall or whatnot, there has to be some fault on the business owner's part. If you just didn't see a step or you just slipped on something, they're not going to be responsible. I'll give you a prime example. You're in a grocery store and someone eats a banana and throws a banana peel on the floor and it stays there for 3 hours, they're probably going to be responsible for that. But if someone eats a banana and throws a banana peel on the floor and you just happen to walk around the corner, probably not going to be responsible for that. So everything in the law, if you boil it down to its least common elements, it's always based on reason and common sense. Only us lawyers like to make it this complicated, but it's just reason and common sense. That's all it is. Well, that makes it pretty easy. So don't go looking for, puddles in your grocery store aisle and bananas in the aisle. Dave, thank you as always. Yes, and probably see you Friday. Whether I'll be here or on my alibi, I don't quite know yet. Jody says I'm going to have good weather this weekend, but I looked it up and said no. I'm going to have to go back there and pick a fight with her a little bit. Don't pick a fight with Jody. She'll make it right. She'll make it right. Thank you, Dave. All right. All right, well, we'll have more WFMJ Today after the break, and we'll be bringing you more food from the Mexican restaurant in Austintown, La Teresa. Stay with us.